Hello everyone, this is Beth with Divine Me Time, and I'm here to support your commitment to heal and know thyself. My website is Divine Me Time, and we are going to be doing a bonus alignment. So in case you have not seen my previous two videos, I am starting in 2026 offerings called alignments, and these are based on my blog. Each alignment is a way to connect with yourself and has some essential tool towards healing. I am learning how to use something called OBS Studio, which some of you might be familiar with. And it is a streaming software that integrates with YouTube, and it's not particularly easy. So I've been doing some test runs on these alignments just to kind of improve my skills with it. And this is the first time that I'm actually streaming as a public video. The last two I did as unlisted. So that's new, and today I have a really fancy feature. So let's see how it goes. I am going to now transition. Ooh, fancy. Ooh. See, I can go back and forth. Is that not cool? So anyway, let's dive into the blog. So this one I wrote back in August of 2024, so that's quite a while back, and it's actually it's under the alignments blog, but it's not styled quite the same as my more current entries are. But I still think this is a really fun one, so I wanted to share it with you all. So let's see, I just want to check my, oh, you know what? I want to make sure you guys are seeing, yeah, I think you're seeing the, I hope you're seeing the right thing, which is mini me, and I don't know why I'm not seeing that. It's a little uncomfortable. Let me just make sure. Yeah, okay, good. So yeah, it's like all these windows. Okay. So identifying emotions. And I love these, you know, I found this picture on, I don't know, it was probably one of those free sites like Upsplash or something. And whoever created it, I think her or him, did a great job with it. So they say that labeling or identifying a problem can make it easier to deal with. So just think about if you know, you're not feeling quite right, you know something's wrong, you just don't know what it is, and then you maybe go to a doctor and they say, oh, you have such and such. When you get that label on whatever's going on, you might have a sense of relief just to know, oh, that's what it is. You know, I'm not crazy or dying or whatever. So doing so can provide clarity as well as reduce anxiety or uncertainty. It can also facilitate communication and support by making it easier to express ourselves in our experiences. In other words, if we're going through something, when we can express that to another person, then they might understand, be more sympathetic to our behavior. You know, when we know somebody's going through a rough time, we give them a little more leeway and hopefully a little more compassion. Of course, labels can also sometimes perpetuate stereotypes or create confining paradigms. And that's the other thing. You know, people who receive a diagnosis of some kind, sometimes that can be taken on as an identity, right? And we cling to it. We might have a condition or a situation in our lives that gives us some benefits. And so as we start to feel better, we notice, ooh, I'm going to lose all those benefits if I heal, if I come out of this. So labels can also kind of lasso us into this this zone of benefit that we want to stay in. Generally speaking, though, being able to identify emotions can serve to help us regulate our feelings, increase our self-awareness, and help us develop empathy. Then we can become proactive in changing the unhelpful thoughts that fuel the feelings. And I've actually in the past written about whether, or maybe it was a video, but anyway, written about whether thoughts come before emotions or emotions come before thoughts. And I don't think it's either or. I think sometimes emotions, like if they are the very most primal emotions, can arise sometimes to alert us of something before a thought. But I would say more often than not, it's our thoughts that are perpetuating our emotions. Fear-based thoughts, disaster thinking, futuristic thinking about things that can go wrong. That can definitely fuel our feelings. And so let's just get into a little practice before I continue on. Every alignment session that we do, the whole point of it is to practice. Okay, so I not only am going to share a skill with you, I'm going to lead you in some sort of practice or exercise that will help you integrate, sense, feel, experience the skill. And I think that's really important because, there's a lot of stuff out there that is just kind of telling you how things are, and I don't want to do that. I want to share some things that might inspire or, give you food for thought, but then I want you to experience the topic of discussion for yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to just make some funny faces, and yes, I'm going to keep my face small because it's not about how ridiculous I look. It's just about feeling in the face, and really this is a vagal toning practice. Helps to kind of complete any emotional cycles that are not completed, and it's also really fun, and if you do it with other people it can be really hysterical. So anyway, let's start with just a neutral face and just feel how your face feels when you are completely neutral. And then let's get a little shy smile. And then let's go to surprise. Maybe good surprise. Oh! It's okay to make sounds too, that's all part of it. And then let's go to maybe not so good surprise. And just feel the face, feel what muscles changed, feel the furrowing of the eyebrows, or the maybe clenching of the jaw. Let's go to frustration. Or perhaps anger. Feel what's happening with the eyes when you feel angry. And maybe the rest of the body too, because obviously when we feel emotions, it's a whole body experience, right? Okay, just notice that anger. And notice how easy it is, or maybe not, to shift from one emotion to another, especially contrasting emotions. Let's go to joy. And now sadness. And feel what happens with the posture, with the energy. And let's go to grief. It's okay if your eyes close, you know, just let whatever wants to happen, happen. And let's go to maybe shock. That's a quick one. And then just come back to neutral. And then to embarrassment. And disgust. Peaceful. It's interesting. I closed my eyes both on grief and on peaceful. Just noticing those little things. Whether they are correlated or not, you can dive a little deeper into maybe some of the commonalities that certain emotions share. Come back to neutral. How about resistance? And surrender. And happiness. And neutral. All right, so just noticing how all of that felt. And it can be fun to do that in a mirror too. I know some people don't like to look in a mirror. I teach something called mirror meditation. It is extremely powerful. And if you feel ready for it, you can visit my website and find out more about that. I have a free course in that I offer. Okay. So continuing on now. Lately, though, I've been finding the language of emotions to be a little too stale and confining. The old happy, sad, or mad of the typical feeling wheel, there's a link to that, don't quite seem to capture the, excuse my French, shit show that a serious spiritual growth journey can elicit. So I've been creating my own lexicon of emotions. Today, for example, which again, remember I wrote this in 2024, to capture the feeling of both being humiliated and disappointed at the same time, I coined the word humiliapointed. It could just as easily have been disappointelated. I laughed the moment I said the word. The label did indeed erase some of the searing pain I was feeling in my ego. It also made it easier for me to locate the deeper roots of the issue. I could see why I was having the reaction that I was having. Now, do I remember that situation? I actually don't. So that's kind of ironic. It totally cleared it from my system, I suppose. A few months ago, again, this was 2024, I playfully came up with several new emotions, and maybe they'll help to encourage you to invent your own, especially during this ramped up time of challenge on the planet. So if you're feeling like emotions, you know, the ones that we use every day and know and have known all of our lives don't quite cut it anymore, you can start to mix and match a new lexicon. So we've got agitated and frustrated as agitated, Frustrated and anxious as francious, I like that one. Hostile and annoyed as hostoid. Numb and confused as numbfused. Shocked and fragile as shockile. Inadequate and anxious as inadequanxious. That's a good one too. Courageous but jealous, courageous. And depressed and resentful as depresentful. So it's just, it's a way to just kind of lighten up around heavier emotions. And you can do it with positive ones too, of course. And just have fun, Dealing with our emotions can be such a heavy thing that just becoming a little more playful with them helps them move through a little quicker. And remember, emotions are just energy wanting to move. If we resist or clamp down on that energy rather than let it flow, we are doing a disservice to our bodies. We are trapping that energy in the body, and that is just going to lead to dysfunction or disease. So, this is a quick one, but that's okay. Emotions are a fundamental part of our humanity, and they guide us through the challenges we face in life if we listen to them. It's important that we're able to invite them to the surface and let them flow rather than stagnate. We might as well be playful, laugh, and have some fun while doing the work. What work am I referring to? Well, it's the work of healing and knowing the self. And when I say knowing the self, I mean your divine self, the truth of who you are, your divine nature and connection, your deepest soul. So if you would like to work with me, please do visit my website at divinemetime.com. I want to share just real quick that Alignments Live, if you're interested in being notified of when these happen, and they'll be unlisted and happen for subscribers first, and then the replay will be uploaded on YouTube and shared generally, but minus any chat. If you go to the Alignments Live on the website, you will find the sign up there to be part of the alignments. And again, this is going to be officially starting in January of 2026, and there'll be one every month on either the first or the second Sunday of the month. The live time will be probably 8 p.m. Central European time. I think that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's 2 Eastern. And if you can't make it at that time, of course, you can watch the replay. And so if you just want information about the replays, then the best way you can either sign up here and then I'll send you that information, or you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I'm going to do a really quick here, little fancy thing. Nope, that's not it. How do I go back? All right, there we go. Here we go. Da 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 da, and there we go. Nope. What are you guys seeing? There it is. Okay. So yeah, just subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you. I hope you participated with me and maybe had some fun with this. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Haven't figured out quite how I want to end these things. I want to have my little saying, but I haven't worked it out yet. If you have ideas, share them with me. Okay, take care.